Your daughter called last Tuesday. You talked for 20 minutes. She asked how you were feeling, whether your knee was better, whether you'd seen the neighbors lately. She didn't mention that she'd been crying in her car before work for the past 3 weeks. You had no idea. Here's what's actually going on. It didn't start last Tuesday. It started 30 years ago, in a kitchen that looked a lot like yours. She came home from school and told you something was wrong. Maybe it was a fight with a friend. Maybe a bad grade. Maybe just a feeling she couldn't name. And you did what any parent does. You worried. Out loud. You asked questions. You offered solutions. You made phone calls. You brought it up at dinner, and then again the next morning, and maybe again the week after that. You meant well. You were trying to help. But here's what she learned. When I tell Mom my problems, her anxiety becomes bigger than my problem. Now I have 2 problems instead of 1. So she stopped telling you. And here's what most people never figure out. This isn't about love. She loves you completely. This is about energy. When you're already carrying something heavy, you don't hand it to someone you know will drop it. Not because they're careless, but because they care too much. Their hands shake. They can't help it. Your kids learned early who they could hand things to and who they couldn't. Not because you failed them, because you felt everything so deeply that they started protecting you from their own lives. Think about that for a moment. Your child is going through something hard, a difficult marriage, a problem at work, a health scare, money trouble, and their first instinct is to protect you from knowing. They love you enough to carry it alone, so you don't have to worry. That's not distance. That's a strange, painful form of devotion. But it comes with a cost. The less they share, the more separate your worlds become. You sense it, that feeling that you're getting the edited version of their life, the highlight reel, the fine, everything's fine, how are you? And you start to wonder what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, but something did happen, slowly, over many years, and it's worth understanding. There's a term in psychology called emotional parentification. It happens when a child, without anyone intending it, starts managing a parent's emotional state. They learn to read the room. They know when you're anxious, when you're fragile, when you've had a hard day, and they adjust what they say accordingly. These children grow up to be incredibly perceptive, deeply empathetic adults. They also grow up to be adults who don't ask for help easily, who handle things alone, who say, "I'm fine," the way they learn to say it, to keep the peace, to protect the people they love, to avoid becoming someone else's burden. Sound familiar? Here's something else worth knowing. A lot of parents in this situation make one particular mistake. When they sense their child pulling back, they push forward. They ask more questions. They call more often. They say things like, "You never tell me anything anymore. Why don't you talk to me?" And the child, who already learned that your emotions are bigger than theirs, now has to manage your hurt feelings about the fact that they're not sharing. Another layer. Another reason to stay quiet. The pushing doesn't open the door. It locks it further. Here's the part that changes everything. You can't go back and undo 30 years of dinner-time conversations. But you can change what happens the next time your daughter calls. The next time she tells you something difficult, a problem, a worry, a fear. Try this. Don't offer a solution. Don't ask what she's going to do about it. Don't tell her about a time something similar happened to you. Just say, "That sounds really hard. I'm glad you told me." That's it. 4 seconds, 8 words. What you're doing is proving that you can hold her weight without collapsing under it, that she doesn't need to protect you, that you are someone she can hand things to. It won't happen in one phone call, but it will happen. Slowly, the way all real things happen, without anyone announcing it. The door your kids quietly closed. They left it unlocked. They're waiting to see if it's safe to open it again. Has your child ever stopped sharing things with you? Tell me in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel exactly the same way.